Hi, sorry, I'm still adjusting the camera. Almost done here. Hey everyone, thank you for joining me. It's our Dao De Jing study time. Hi Linda. Thank you for joining me. I've just started. Today, let's study together. Hi IJ, nice to have you. We're going to study together Dao De Jing chapter 7. So I'll read you the chapter 7 in Chinese, the whole chapter, and then we'll go through it, the chapter section by section. Good morning, Linda. Hi, IJ. Okay, so here is Dao De Jing chapter 7. 天长地久，天地之所以能长久者，以其不自生也，故能长生。是以圣人锐其身而身先，外其身而身存。不以其无私于，故能成其私。It's a beautiful chapter. This chapter started with the words that we're already familiar with. 天 and 地, heaven and earth. When Chinese talk about 天地 and 天地之间, between heaven and earth, often it's a general term to talk about nature in general. What does 天长地久 mean? 长久 means long, means forever. You can say it's eternal. So this section means heaven and earth lasts forever. And the next sentence, 天地, so we know heaven and earth, 之所以, so it's the reason why, 能长久者, why heaven and earth nature is eternal, can last forever. And next sentence is Lao Tzu gave us the answer for this question. 以其不自生也，故能长生. Here, the three words that's important here is 不自生 means 不 no or not, the negative word. 自 self and 生 means born. So 不自生 literally is not self-born. So here Lao Tzu said, because the nature is not born, not self-born. What does it mean? It means nature is not born out of its own will. It doesn't insist that I want myself to be this way, or I has to be that way. Instead, nature is born following the way of Dao, following the rule of nature, what nature is supposed to be. 故能长生, that's why it's eternal. So how do we interpret it here, what Lao Tzu means, that not self-born, that's why it's not born out of its own will, that's why it lasts forever. let's use again the example we've used before of the water and wave. For example, like if a wave identifies itself as this wave, so this is me. If I wanted to last forever, means I want this form, this shape, this wave, I want it to be, it will never disappear. It's always like this. Is it possible? Have we ever seen a wave in nature that's forever? No way, right? However, if a wave, as an example, if a wave realizes that its true nature is water. So as water, even though the form of this wave disappeared, is the water still there? Right? It is. And, water follows the rule of fluid mechanics. And at some point, when it's time, follow the rule of Dao, you can say, follow the rule of nature. When it's time to form another wave, then another wave appears. And you can, just by looking at its form, you can say this is a new wave. This is different from the previous wave. And that wave is gone, it's dead. And, this new wave is born. But if you look at from the water's point of view, has it changed? Has it, it's always water. It's in a way here it says it's eternal, it lasts forever. So I thought this might be a good example to help us understand what here Lao Tzu means. 以其不自生，故能长生. Let's continue to the next sentence. Next sentence, Lao Tzu said, 是以 so, 是以 so, 圣人, the sage, or some translation has it as master. We explained it in our previous video that what's 圣人? What 人 means a person or people in general. What kind of a person can be considered a 圣人? Sheng Ren is someone who understands the Tao, who knows the Tao. Therefore, Sheng Ren behaves, follow the way of Tao. So Sheng Ren, so here, what does Sheng Ren do? Sheng Ren 锐其身而身先. 锐, what the word 锐, I'll explain the word. The word 锐 can means the kind of the soft and the tenderness of a newly sprouted little grass. So it's very soft, very gentle, very tender. It also has a meaning of like going back to this stage of this newborn stage. So the sage, 锐其身, 身 means body. So it means, what does 圣人 do? 圣人 make their body back to, so to say, back to like the status of a newborn baby. 如婴儿, like a baby. In a later chapter, in chapter 10, Lao Tzu mentioned about another, says, similar with this concept, says, 专气致柔, 能如婴儿乎. 柔 means soft. See here, it's the 锐, soft. Can you be just like your qi is so pure, so concentrated, and so smooth, just like a newborn baby? So here we took a little quick sneak peek into chapter 10. We won't go any further into that. We'll explain it more in chapter 10. Here, let's come back to chapter 7. So the sage to 而身先 means if you want to advance your body, if you want your body to be healthier, if you want to be able to best utilize your body, then what you need to do, so what the sage is doing is to so its body, make our body will do practice, and will make sure our body is almost like a soft and tender, like a newborn baby. Here, this form of this chapter, the way the chapter is set up, some people probably realize it sounds a little familiar. Remember back in chapter 5, Lao Tzu talk about 天地 does this and this, so 圣人 does this and this. We also talked before about 道法自然 means Dao. We follow the Dao of nature. So this format is Lao Tzu talk about, okay, so nature does things this way. So if you want to be a sage, at least you want to be the person who are on the path to follow the Dao, then you follow the nature's way. And that's how, as a human, this is what we should do. So back to, we talk about to follow the nature's way. If you want to be live long life or healthy life, and want your health to last forever, and here Lao Tzu tells us just to go back to the like a newborn baby stage. Why, right? Why newborn baby is better than us? So if you've seen a little baby, you know how soft and how flexible its body is. Like a baby can just easily like bend its legs up so it can suck on its toes. We often see pictures of baby kind of this almost bended this almost like a circle, and its leg it's up and it's sucking on its toes. It was very happy. And how many of us can do that, right? I can't do it. Not saying that we want to suck on our toes, but it just shows you the baby's body. There's why the baby's so soft and can do all these amazing things. It's because there is no blockage in a baby's body. So the qi is very pure, very concentrated, and it flows through its body very smoothly. That's the stage of what a sage and us want to be. Not saying like we want our body shrink back to be a baby. We wanted our body to be able to, in that kind of a healthy stage, as when the baby was newborn, it was like. Why a baby can be like that? Some of you have heard that modern psychology believes that a newborn baby don't have a sense of self, at least the first 6 months of its life. And some people even say it was up to 2 years is when 2 years old is when a kid started to develop this sense of self, have more of a, I want to do it this way, I want to do it that way. For a baby, it doesn't separate its body with the environment, and it allows its body, it does what a body needs, it follows the body's natural way of being. For example, a baby eats when it's hungry. It cries, and the adults know it's hungry, you feed the baby. And when baby is full, it stops eating, right? Like the baby doesn't be like thinking, oh, I'm so full, but I just have this little bit left on my plate, and just let me just finish it. I don't want to have any leftovers. Baby doesn't do that. Or I'm so full, but this piece of cake is so yummy, right? Let me just have this little bit. And also, on the other end, the baby pees and poops whenever the body needs. It doesn't hold it back. So when we hold these what we need to our body let out back, and sometimes we know like the toxins sometimes gets reabsorbed into our body, so it's not the best for our body. And the baby sleeps when they're tired, and it doesn't stay up late even though you feel really tired. You're like, oh, let me just finish this episode. I just want to finish. I just want to see what happens, right? Guilty here. So this is telling us if we want to keep our body long, healthy, and what we should do. Okay, the next sentence is 外其身而生存. 外 means outside. So the sentence means you stay outside your body. 而生存 means then your body can exist well, does what it needs to do well. It's like stay outside. How do we stay outside of my body? One of my teachers often use this phrase, like you gotta get out of the driver's seat. Or sometimes he would say like, it's like some people have this like, why I can't do this, why I cannot realize that. It's like because the ego, your little self, doesn't want to leave the stage. It's just a way of saying that sometimes our mind takes too much control. Our mind is a very helpful thing. However, we're too used to our mind dictate what we need to do. For example, Tai Chi. People in this group probably are all interested in doing Tai Chi, Qigong. And you probably have experience. When you do Tai Chi, you can do what you can okay, it's time for my arm to go up. Okay, my arm should come down. And you can just direct your body to do it this way. However, you could also just give your body space. You be outside it. Be the observer. And then when you do Tai Chi, follow the qi. If your qi feels like you need to go this way, you go this way. If your qi feels like it's coming back, you come back. And try the difference of these two. When you do Tai Chi, you'll notice the difference. Like when my own experience is that sometimes when I do Tai Chi, when I step back, oftentimes I like, for some reason, when my eyes are closed, I can better tune, let my body do what just kind of be staying back and let my body move. And when I do that, when I follow my body's qi, after do Tai Chi, just feels so good. It's just so relaxed and feels this qi feel energized. So try it next time when you do Tai Chi. Maybe your pose are not 100% standard, but remember Dr. Wu often said it's not the outside form. We started to learn the outside form is to help lead our qi. The most important part is to get our qi moving, let our qi move our body. And when you're getting used to have your qi, let your qi move your body, and the self-healing start to happen, self-healing in your body. Okay, so the next, which is also the last sentence, is 不以其无私语，故能成其私. It means 无私, 私 means self, means selfish, 自私. The Chinese word 自私 means selfish. So 无私, selfless. Through selfless actions, the sage can attain fulfillment. This is from our body, from a health point of view, this makes sense, right? Just like we just talked about, 无私, no self. So take our ego out of the way. Oftentimes you found that your body perform better. And why our mind wants to control our body is because we want to do better. We want to be better performed at what we need to do. And ironically, oftentimes if you step back, you realize that you actually trust your body actually performs better. I've tried, which I've talked about in one of the earlier class, that an interesting exercise to try sometimes is to, when you drink water, or sometimes when you eat, and instead of automatically or eating, just be the person, try to be kind of the observer, and see if will you then don't know how to eat, don't know how to drink, or actually your body actually does a better job at it. So this is a little interesting exercise. If you're interested, try it at home sometimes. Also, this is from our body health point of view. Also from like society, how people do things, that point of view, this also makes sense. For example, oftentimes you see that often the people that's not doing things out of his own gain, they are often the one that people respect, people trust, and they are often the one that actually gained fame, gained status, gained the position. They actually getting what that you would think that will fulfill them. And for example, I'm sure everybody have a lot of examples you can think of, even from famous people or from people everyday lives, that you will know somebody who are like that. For example, as the famous leaders like Gandhi, Mandela, they are not doing what they did because they want to become a leader, they want to become famous. They are doing what they did because they see a need. They see that this is better for the society as a whole. In a way, you can say they do what it needs, follows the rule of nature, follow the rule of society. That's why, everybody trusts them, respect them, and automatically people decide that's like they trust them to be the leader, and they gain fame not because of they wanted to for themselves. So, however, they got fulfillment because of their selfless actions. Okay, so here we finished Dao De Jing chapter 7, and it's just about half an hour. Thank you for joining me. Next week, please join me. We'll continue our Dao De Jing study of chapter 8. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Thank you.